Hello, I hope everyone is doing well. For this tutorial, I want to cover one data set. This is sort of part one of two. In the first video, I'm going to show you a data set that can be used specifically for large-scale mapping. So when you think about large scale, you think about zooming in. And in the second video, which I'll post separately, we'll talk about data sets for small scale mapping. So imagine zooming way out with your data. So the data that I want to show you is OpenStreetMaps. So if we go to the help section of my Canvas site, you'll see this GeoFabric data. So again, for the large scale mapping, you can use this data. This is great, for example, for Philadelphia. If you're mapping Philly and you need waters, like waterways, if you need the river, the Delaware River, you can use this data. Much better than the one that I originally showed you that some of you downloaded from the PASTA website. So you basically, click on the link. You're going to go to a website that says United States of America here, and we're going to download the Delaware data. The reason I'm doing Delaware is because it's really tiny, and it's just easier to show as a demo. So basically what you do is you go to the site and you're going to do the shapefile. So you can just go ahead and download your shapefile. I already have a download of this, so we're just going to shift to QGIS and open the data. So here's my Delaware data, and we're going to add in, let's just go ahead and add land use, natural, let's do the different waterways. One is a polygon layer and one should be a line layer. So I'll zoom in for you. So there's a part of that, and the other one I'll do is I'll just download the roads layer. So you can see for a state, it's very simple. You go to the website, you download the set of shapefiles, they all come packaged in a zip file, and then you can just unzip them and then bring them right into QGIS. For the next part, I'm going to show you where you can find the styles to actually style them. The problem is the styles work pretty well, but you need to know a little bit about what they're actually trying to do, because some of them actually need to be fixed. I'm not sure if this is just a delay on the end of the website, but these particular styles were created for GeoFabric data, yet they don't work perfectly. So here is the link. It's in a Dropbox link. So if you click on this link here, you can basically just download the entire thing. And it's called OSM GeoFabric Universal Master Styles. And I've already downloaded this, and I'm going to apply them. So basically you would just click here and it's going to download them all into a zip file. Okay, so I'm going to go back to QGIS. Okay, I'm back in QGIS. I've just rearranged these a little bit, but we're going to just start off with the water layer first. So earlier I was working with this, and I noticed that there was a slight problem, but there's a way that you can tell. One of the ways you can tell is it's going to be applying the style to this thing called the F class. And if I remember correctly, Riverbank, I'm not sure actually is included. So what happens, I think, is that the GeoFabric people are recoding this because the actual true OSM files actually have a lot more fields to them. So they're doing this to reduce the size of the files that they're sharing. And then sometimes these F classes, so this is the F class code. On my Canvas site, I actually do provide you with a link to see what all these codes are, because each of these files have these F class codes basically. And these are applied across different federal agencies. A lot of places use these codes to categorize geographic features. But in this case, their style is going to be being applied to this F class. So we'll take a look to see if Riverbank is actually showing up, because we may have to add that to the style. So let's go ahead and apply the style. So just like we would previously, you'll load the style, and I'm going to hit labels and symbology here because I'm not actually sure if the style will do anything for labels. I know that the style has been created for symbology, but I will turn it on anyway. And then we're going to go to water A free. It's going to match. So these styles, this is the folder that you're going to get OSM GeoFabric QML style master files, and you're going to match them up like this OSM A free one is going to match the style with the exact same wording. So I'm going to hit open, load style, and I'm going to hit apply. And you can already see that that riverbank is actually not showing up. So, you know, they may have purposely done this, or it may be a problem. So what we need to do is, let me just press apply first. So you're going to notice that it actually does do something and it works. So let's actually throw the OSM layer underneath so that we can kind of get a sense of what's going on, like the one that you can download from the web. So here's the OSM from the web, and you can see that like the rivers do, if you look over here, the rivers do match what OSM is doing. But when I look at the actual style, it doesn't have that riverbank. So you want to look at what field is being mapped or stylized, and then make sure all the values are actually included. And the way that I know this is because when I was doing Philadelphia, the Delaware River was not actually showing up, and the reason was it was because the Delaware River was called a river bank. So what you need to do is you go into this rule, and we need to edit the rule. So we need to press this button here, and then we need to add the actual thing. So we need to add riverbank. But what I was going to show you is you can actually go here and do all unique values, and there's riverbank. So we can just basically do comma, and then double click on riverbank, and then do an OK, and then we can test it, and it'll tell it return 2,444 features. And then we can just basically hit OK, and now you can see that riverbank is now added there. So we hit apply, and now we hit OK. So now we know that they're all included, including the riverbank. And it actually did do some labeling, which is why I mentioned that we should probably turn on the labels as well. You just don't know, you know, someone's, you know, going ahead and doing these styles for you. You could go into the actual style and you can open it up in a text editor, and you can actually learn a little bit more about what it's actually styling, where you probably could read some more of the documentation, and it probably will mention what's being styled. But now let's go ahead and try another one. Let's do the roads. So I'm going to turn the roads on, and then I'm going to do the properties, and then I'm going to load style, and I'm going to do labels and symbology again. And then these are the OSM roads free, so we're going to look for that style. Load style, hit apply, hit OK, and yeah, you can see some of this is labeled. Now it's probably scale dependent, so you would have to, you know, if you wanted like the labels to show up now, you'd have to probably go in and tweak the actual scale on the labels to make sure that they show up at certain scales. There's probably locks on them at certain scales. You'd have to go into each of them. Like, I guess that would be some sort of secondary road, and then look at if there's a scale thing, and it doesn't look like there is, so I'm not sure where that is, you know, why it's being locked out. Sometimes it's just the software itself, so you'd have to figure out a way to get it to show up if you needed to, but nevertheless the styles work, right? If you need to do mapping, let's do natural features. So we're going to load style, again symbology and label, and we have natural A free, and we'll just hit open, we'll hit load style, and you can see the cliff and the beaches there. Now if it's missing anything, I'm not sure, so let's turn the water back on and the roads. And you can see here that you have the beaches now in this tannish color. So you're getting, you know, a pretty professional looking map. Now, it's a good way to start, and you can always tweak the styles how you want them to be. But nevertheless, it's a good start. So the last thing that I wanted to do is these land use. And we'll go to land use. I need to see which one it is. So it is the A1. Load style, land use A. Load style, so it should be this one. We're going to hit load style, apply, hit OK. And you can see that there's a lot of, oh, it looks like it's in German. Let's take a look at the is styling things, and if we open up the other OSM, like the web version of OSM, you can see when I toggle it, it's on now, and then I turn it off, that there is some sort of matching between the layers. Styles are slightly different for sure, but we would have to look and see why that particular one is in German. So the other ones, let's check them. They're not in German. That's not in German. That's not in German. That looks like it's in German. So I'm not 100% sure why that's in German. So that's it for this tutorial. It's really important as you move forward on any cartographic projects, if you're mapping, at the large scale, when you're really zoomed in, these are perfect layers to make professional looking maps. Thanks.